I only worked on the pilot on Wild Things. After that, I decided I wanted to try to make my own way in LA a little bit with my background. So I did get a job at DDB Needham Advertising, and then I worked eventually at Ogilvy and Mather. And while I was working at Ogilvy and Mather, Bertram goes to MIPCOM every year to look at the new formats, sell our shows, sell his shows, whatever we're working on. And when he came home, I said, how did it go? And he goes, oh, the same old, same old. And I said, God, you guys in television, there's nothing good on TV. I said, when are you going to put something good on TV that I'd be interested in watching? And he said, no, you think you're so smart. You think it's so easy. Why don't you come up with something? I'll give you 5 minutes. And I was like, fine, give me a challenge, And the first thing that came to my mind was what I mentioned earlier, was when I went backpacking through Europe with my best friend. And we had a great time. We had very little money. We didn't speak any of the languages. But about 2 weeks into the trip, we had a huge fight because I'm the type of person like, let's get up early. Let's make the most of the day. And she woke up, we were in Italy. We were going to go to the Vatican that day. And she was like, this is not Chevy Chase's European vacation. I am not on a schedule. I don't want to go today. You go and do this. And so we had this fight. And I was like, oh my, okay, you do your thing. I'll see you at the end of the day. And what came of that was we had a great day separate for the day. We'd been together on each other's nerves for the trip for the last 4 weeks. And then by the end of the night when we met back up, we were good again and we were ready to go for another couple of weeks. So I said to Bertram, wouldn't it be great if we could have two people who know each other do some sort of a trip around the world, like an adventure, like a race where they'd be competing against other people doing the same thing. And, they could go from country to country doing things in those countries, like things that the locals do. So you could really get to know what somebody in, Mumbai, India, what do they do for a job? Could we have the people that, are going on this participate in a task or a job or something that a local does in each country?
Just challenges. Yeah,
just
come up with challenges on the way. The idea was, I had set up just the infrastructure, global infrastructure with Wild Things, where we had our contacts all over the world, from Buenos Aires to Moscow to Tokyo to what have you. So this idea that Elise came up with fit perfectly in the scheme of things, because the Wild Things just got canceled, and I said, well, this is the perfect opportunity. We got the infrastructure to do something like this, and when we then went to CBS to present it to Les Moonves and Nancy Tellem and the people the powers that were there, they liked it very much, and we also had the credibility that we could do this. Because that's the bigger thing, how are you going to pull this off? Can you do this? The world is a big place. And I must say that Les saw immediately that this was a phenomenal opportunity, and he completely believed that we could pull this off, and had told me as much as, you're the only one who could ever do this. So that's how this whole thing started.
What was interesting was, I said, let me write up the creative. Let me write, I don't know, a 1 page or 2 of the idea. We could have something where the people have to do something together, and then one where they have to make a decision who does something. And since I'm in advertising and I'm a graphic designer, let me create this packet, and we'll put a passport on the front with stamps of different countries. And we wrote up the treatment. And I remember Bertram had called his agent at CAA and said, let's pitch this. And you pitched it to NBC. I went to work. I went to Ogilvy the next day, and
so
he had the packet.
Don't give it the day job,
Yeah, I had a really good job. I was running the studio, and he went to the pitch meeting, and he pitched us to NBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS. And I remember he called me at work, and he said, come downstairs, I want to talk to you. I got to talk to you. So one of the pitches went really well, or actually all of them went really well. So I went out of the office, I met him downstairs, he was in the car, and he's like, well, listen, he goes, CBS, they want to do this. They want to do the show. And I was like, should I quit my job? And he's like, no, don't quit your job yet. He goes, this is television. It may go for 1 season and that's it. He goes, you have a really good job. Don't quit your job yet. He goes, let's just see where this goes. Let's work on the concept of the format, and we got to go scouting. So I remember, how am I going to keep my job? But I still want to, I want to work. And this is the thing. We're going to travel. We're going to work together. We're going to be, producing a TV show for a major network for CBS. And I took a leave of absence from Ogilvy and Mather. They let me go for about 40 days. We scouted. We went. I remember one of the first places we went was India. We went to the Taj Mahal, which was one of those places that was a dream of mine to always go to.
When you had that 5 minutes, did you come up with any other ideas, or was this the only one?
They always ask you to come up with another 5 minutes of a day. We're just about done coming up with ideas.
It's funny. That was the first thing that it popped right into my head. I didn't. Of course, I'm thinking, is this I don't think I knew what I was thinking of when I was thinking of it. I just knew one of the most incredible adventures of my lifetime was that experience, and how can we give that to somebody else? Because there's so many people who do want to travel and would love the experience, but maybe they're afraid to travel, or they don't know where to go or how to get there. I'll just do anything. I'm not afraid to go anywhere. I love that adventure. I love going places I've never been before. The less I know, the more comfortable I feel, because I'm excited about it. Bertram had all the experience of production, television production. He had the contacts. And so it was a moment where these two worlds collided, and it was a good thing. The nice thing about the show and the way the creative is done is that Bertram comes to the table with a different set of skills and knowledge from growing up in Europe, and obviously, his experience. I come to the table with my creative ideas from my experience as an American, and something I think Americans would like to see. So when we put those two together to create a season, he might want to go to a country that would never be on my radar, and I want to go to some place where you say, oh, why would anyone want to go there? But as an American, I want to go there because that's a place that I know a lot of people would like to go to. And it also gives the viewer the opportunity to see all these places and inspire them to go.